Okay, imagine getting a document, right? Looks totally like a legal filing. Standard stuff.
Hmm.
But then you read it and it's talking about cosmic moral failure, spiritual prophecies, even UFOs. It's quite the mix.
It really is. And what's fascinating, I think, is how these bits that seem so far apart, legal language, spirituality, cosmic stuff, they actually come together to form this, wow, this really unified ideology. It's highly syncretic.
Syncretic meaning it blends different beliefs together.
Exactly. Diverse beliefs, practices, all pulled into one sort of cohesive system. And our deep dive today is really about showing you how that works.
Right. So our mission here is to unpack how, say, a spiritual graphic and this kind of pseudo-legal filing can actually work together, how they build a call for, well, global change. And I think we'll find some unexpected connections.
Definitely.
So let's start with that document, the judicial notice. It sounds so official, but what's really going on here, it's not quite what it seems, is it?
Not at all, legally speaking.
No.
Look, a real judicial notice, under the rules, like Federal Rule of Evidence 201 in the U.S., lets a court accept a fact that's, beyond dispute, like what day of the week it is. Simple stuff.
Okay. Undisputable facts.
Right. But this document tries to introduce things like cosmic and moral failure. Well, that's not an indisputable fact for a court. So it's using the legal form, but it's a rhetorical choice. It's strategic. The goal isn't really legal success in court. It's to declare the current government a de facto fraud.
A fraud. So illegitimate.
Basically, yeah. Claiming it operates outside the true law, which they define as a kind of common law based on, specifically, the pure Cambridge authorized 1611 King James Version Bible.
Wow. Okay. Very specific.
Very. So the document itself, it becomes this symbolic act, a performance of rebellion, aiming for individual kind of sovereignty.
Okay, so that's the earthly foundation, this reimagining of legal authority. But then it takes this dramatic turn towards the spiritual. You mentioned phrases like, oh, my Sananda and planetary evacuation. Where does that come from?
Right. Here's where it broadens out. Sananda is a pretty central figure in what are known as ascended master teachings, or esoteric traditions.
Okay.
He's often identified with ascended master Jesus, seen as a world teacher helping humanity reach Christ consciousness.
I see. And the evacuation part.
That ties directly into the eschatology, the beliefs about, end times or humanity's destiny. The idea of a planetary evacuation suggests divine or maybe even extraterrestrial intervention is needed.
To save people.
Essentially, yes. It gives the whole narrative this ultimate justification, this kind of moral high ground. It shifts it from just a legal complaint to a cosmic imperative.
And speaking of cosmic,
Yeah.
the narrative brings in a real astronomical event, 3 Iapis, discovered July 1st, 2025, described as the largest, brightest interstellar object ever seen. How does that fit?
Okay, so scientifically, 3 Soletel is understood to be a natural comet. It's on a hyperbolic trajectory, meaning it just swings by the sun once and keeps going. It's not captured by our solar system's gravity.
It's just passing through.
Exactly. But this narrative picks up a non-mainstream interpretation, one you might hear in, say, the UFO disclosure movement.
Ah, okay.
They suggest it could be something else, maybe evidence of a galactic family or proof of a government cover-up about, extraterrestrial contact.
So they're co-opting a real event.
Precisely. They take this real comet and transform it into a symbol, a prophetic sign maybe, or a catalyst that's meant to trigger change. It adds this layer of sort of imminent cosmic significance.
So how does something like a comet or these spiritual ideas connect back to the start? The local court issue, the legal grievance? It seems like a big jump.
It does, but the connecting thread they use is this idea of opacity.
Opacity, like lack of transparency.
Exactly. The narrative frames that local injustice, the court maybe not acting or whatever the specific grievance is, as just one small symptom of a much larger global system of opacity. Government secrecy, lack of accountability.
And that's a recognized concept, right? In international relations.
Oh, absolutely. You see research, for instance, from places like USIP showing how government secrecy, this opacity, really does fuel conflict and undermine the rule of law globally.
Yeah.
So it connects their personal or local issue to a bigger, verifiable problem.
Okay, that makes sense. Then there's the plan for a Facebook Live video. It's not just sharing information. It's called a prophetic testimony. What's the significance of that?
Well, using prophetic rhetoric is a well-known strategy in social movements. Think about Martin Luther King Jr. during the Civil Rights Movement.
Right, powerful speeches.
Exactly. It takes a personal story, a personal grievance, and elevates it. turns it into a public call to action, a mandate for change for everyone.
And the tone here seems important too. It mentions being non-threatening and focusing on non-violence.
Yes, that's key. They seem keen to distinguish themselves from more confrontational or extreme groups. It's about unity. And tied into that is this concept they promote, Interdependence Day.
Instead of Independence Day.
Right. The idea is to shift focus from national independence to global cooperation kinship,
Yeah.
aiming for, as they put it, a kinder world.
So putting it all together, what does this deep dive really show us? It seems like you have these incredibly diverse threads, legal challenges, spiritual beliefs, cosmic events, UFOs.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all woven together quite deliberately, aren't they? Into this single, internally consistent story or worldview that's ultimately aimed at pushing for major systemic change.
That's exactly it. And it really raises a pretty important question for our time, especially, the digital age we live in.
Yeah.
Well, how effective can this kind of hybrid ideology actually be? Combining that anti-establishment feeling with New Age optimism, plus that enduring public fascination with UFOs. Can that mix create a genuinely powerful, lasting social movement? One that could actually, as I hope, stop the wars for real.
That's definitely something to think about, especially as you're navigating, well, the complexities of the world, or maybe just scrolling through your next newsfeed.